In this video, we are going to discuss about the composition of urine. So, composition of urine. So, before talking about the composition of urine, we are going to take up some characteristics of urine, like the smell, odor, the color, and also some specific gravity and some other characteristics. So, first, we are going to take up a color, the color of urine. Now, urine is usually pale yellow in color. And why is this urine pale yellow in color? It is because of, or pale yellow due to, a pigment in urine, that is urochrome. So this is the pigment which is responsible for this pale yellow color of urine. Other than this urochrome, there are also some other pigments. So other pigments are uroerythrin. So uroerythrin, and also there are some urobilins. So this pale yellow color is due to this urochrome. Uro means urea or urine. Chrome means color. So that's why urochrome, because this is responsible for this pale yellow color of this urine. The nature of that urine is pale yellow. So this is about the color. Sometimes the color of the urine may change. So color changes when a person consumes some certain substances. So color changes or color may change when we take some B complex drugs. So B complex drugs, and also some beets. So these are drugs, and here we are going to talk about the vegetables. So some beets and carrots, also some blackberries, so these are some substances. When we consume some of these substances, the color of the urine changes. So like B complex drugs, so these are some type of drugs, and also some vegetables and fruits like beets, beetroots, and carrots and blackberries. These are just some examples, but there are many substances and vegetables like these fruits and vegetables that when we consume them, the color of the urine may change. So this is about the color. Next, we are going to talk about the smell of the urine or odor. Now, usually urine has some peculiar bad smell. So it has some weird bad smell, and this bad smell is due to, so it has bad smell. It is also due to a chemical. Here it is pale yellow in color, and that is due to urochrome. Here the smell, it has bad smell, and that is also due to a chemical, that is urinol. So here it's a pigment. Urochrome is a pigment. Here urinol is a chemical, a substance. So we have taken a look at the color, the usual color, and also some other pigments, uroerythrin and urobilins, and the color changes when we consume certain type of substances like these ones. Now we are going to talk about the smell, the odor. It has a weird bad smell due to the urinol. Also, we are just talking about the bad smell. Sometimes there is a very strong bad smell. And why sometimes they have this strong bad smell? So after we know that they have a bad smell due to urinol. So the urine has a bad smell due to urinol. Later, after some time, the smell turns really strong, so it has a very strong bad smell, and this is due to degradation of urea into ammonia. So this strong smell, so ammonia, this strong smell is due to this degradation. Degradation means, usually what is the meaning of degradation? Means losing self-respect or something like that. In this case, degradation means the urea is turning back into ammonia. We know about Ornithine cycle, that is urea cycle. What happens in the urea cycle? The ammonia converts into urea, or there is urea which is getting produced there. Here, when there is a strong bad smell, this is because the urea is again turning back into ammonia. So that is why the strong bad smell is there. So here you are going to write this down. We know that ammonia or NH3 changes into urea. Usually, this is what we know that happens in urea cycle. Then urea is getting produced. Sometimes this urea turns back into this ammonia, and that's what we are discussing here. The strong smell is due to this reaction here, the reaction of urea getting converted into ammonia again. So that's what it is. It has a very bad smell. It has some weird bad smell due to urinol. This is the chemical. And there is a strong bad smell due to degradation of urea into ammonia. This is one thing. Also, there can be the change in the odor as well. So change in odor may happen. So here we know color can change due to when we take some substances, when we consume some substances like B complex drugs, certain types of drugs, and also some substances, some vegetables and fruit, also like beets, carrots and blackberries. Here there can be change in odor of the urine as well. And when it can change, so change in urine, when again when we take some certain substances like saffron, asparagus and even alcohol. So alcohol. So there can be change in odor when these substances are consumed. So when saffron, asparagus and even alcohol are consumed or taken in. So we have looked at the change in color, and we have taken a look at some substances for that, some drugs and some vegetables and fruits, the edible things. And also here we are talking about odor. Odor also, the smell also can change of urine when these kind of substances are taken like saffron, asparagus and alcohol. So this is about, these are the two parameters or the two characteristics of urine, that's the color and the odor. So after this we are going to take up some more characteristics like specific gravity, tonicity, volume and finally the chemical composition of urine. Now we are going to take up some more characteristics of urine. So this is the third one that we are talking about. Now we are going to take up specific gravity. Specific gravity. Now this specific gravity of urine is 1.003 to 1.04. So this is a specific gravity of urine. Sometimes, or here, water has, the water specific gravity is 1. Here specific gravity of urine is 1.003 to 1.04. That means it is slightly heavier than water. So this specific gravity is something related to density. So we are taking water, we are comparing this with water. So the fluids that has specific gravity less than 1 are lighter than water. The fluids that specific gravity is more than 1, that means they are slightly heavier than water. Here we are talking about urine. So urine is the specific gravity of urine is 1.003 to 1.04. That means it is greater than 1. So that's why we know that it is slightly heavier than water. This is one thing. This is about the specific gravity. Coming to the next thing, now we are going to talk about the tonicity. Tonicity or the concentration. So, tonicity or the concentration of urine is hypertonic. So, this urine has 95 to 96% of water. This urine consists of the 95 to 96% of urine consists of water, and that's why we tell this is hypertonic. So this is about the specific gravity and tonicity. Coming to the next one. Next we are going to talk about the volume. Volume of urine. Daily volume output. Now, usually daily humans produce, so daily output of urine daily output means daily how many liters of urine do we produce or do we excrete. This is around 1.5 to 1.8 liters. So daily at a normal range we produce 1.5 to 1.8 liters. We excrete this much of urine on a daily basis. So this is about the daily output of urine. Next, so this is the normal daily output general. There can be increase in the volume of urine. So increase in the volume of urine when we take lot of water in. So increased volume of urine is due to increase intake of water or fluid. So water or in general fluid. So any fluid we take in, like water, when we keep on drinking water, like on a particular day we keep on drinking water, then on that day the output of urine is going to increase. So we pass out urine lot of times or in large quantity when we take a lot of water or fluid in. Now this volume of urine decreases when we do a lot of physical activity. Especially the exercises that make you sweat a lot, like some aerobics, biking, jogging, swimming, rowing, etc. So some of these cardio workouts, whenever we do a lot of, on a particular day again, if we do a lot of cardio workouts, aerobic exercises, like let's say like burpees or whatever physical activity we do, especially the physical activities or exercises that make you sweat, then on that day the volume of urine is going to decrease. The output of urine is going to decrease. Why? Because we are sweating a lot on that day, or at that time we are sweating a lot. That's why when you sweat a lot, there only a lot of water is getting excreted. Before we have mentioned that urine consists of 95 to 96% of water only. That's why whenever we sweat, their water is getting lost. And in urine also there is a lot of water. That's why there is no extra urine to produce. That's why the urine or the volume of urine is going to decrease. the urine output is decreasing when there is a lot of physical activity. Next, one more thing, volume of urine. So volume of urine is going to increase when we take diuretic substances. So when we take diuretic substances, the volume of urine is going to increase. Now what are diuretic substances? Examples of diuretic substances are tea, coffee, alcohol, etc. So these are some examples of diuretic substances. Whenever we take a lot of these kind of things like tea, coffee, alcohol, then the output of urine, the volume of urine is going to increase. We pass urine a lot. So these are some examples of change of volume, and this is the general output. The daily output of urine is 1.5 to 1.8 liters, and there can be change in the volume of urine in these conditions. These are just some examples, but also there can be a lot of things that we can take into consideration when we're talking about the volume of urine. So volume of urine increases when we take a lot of water. So that's the basic thing, we know that already. Volume of urine decreases when we do a lot of physical activity like workouts, some exercises, like especially the workouts that make you sweat a lot, some cardio workouts, aerobic exercises, burpees, swimming, rowing, or jogging, or whatever, biking, something like that. And also increase in volume of urine is there whenever we take a lot of these kind of things like diuretic substances like tea, coffee, alcohol, etc. So these are some characteristics. Again, specific gravity, we have talked about that. Tonicity, which is concentration, it is hypertonic. And also we have taken a look at the volume. After this, we are going to come to the main chemical composition of urine. So coming to the chemical composition of urine. So we have written it here. This is chemical composition of urine. Now, first, urine consists of 95 to 96% of urine is water. It is water. So 95 to 96%, this we have already mentioned, that 95 to 96% of water of urine is consisting of water. Apart from this, 2% of urine consists of urea. This urea, we have already talked about this. This urea is a nitrogenous waste. So nitrogenous waste. This is the main nitrogenous waste. What are the three main nitrogenous wastes that we have discussed? Ammonia, urea, and uric acid. Ammonia, the organisms are ammonotelic organisms. Ureotelic organisms are the organisms that excrete urea. Uricotelic organisms are the organisms that excrete uric acid. Also, we have taken a look at ammonotelism, ureotelism, uricotelism in the previous videos. So this we have already mentioned that urea is a nitrogenous waste, and 2% of urine consists of this urea, which is nitrogenous waste, the main nitrogenous waste in humans. Also, 2 to 3% of this urine are other things, other materials apart from water and urea. Now, what are these other things? These other things are hippuric acid, and creatinine, also some potassium ions, So some potassium ions and some phosphates. So these are some other things. 2 to 3% are these kind of things: hippuric acid, creatinine, potassium ions, phosphates, and also oxalates. These are just some examples, but apart from this, there are many. There is a lot of water, and there is 2% of urea, which is main nitrogenous waste. Now, why humans are called as ureotelic organisms? Because they excrete urea. Along with urea, they also excrete some other nitrogenous waste. So, in the video of eurycotelism, we have taken a look at eurycotelism, aminotelism, and also some other nitrogenous waste. There we have included this hippuric acid, creatinine, and some other things. That means these hippuric acid, creatinine, these are also some nitrogen space, but they are not so chief nitrogen space. They are just some other nitrogen space except these three main ones. Those are ammonia, urea, and uric acid. So humans are called ureotelic organisms because they excrete a lot of urea. So humans also excrete some other nitrogen space. Also, they also excrete uric acid. But there is a lot of urea which is excreted. So 2% is urea, that means it's a lot. That's why humans are called as ureotelic. And also, apart from all these nitrogen space, there is a lot of water, that is 95% to 96% of urine is consisting of water. So in this video, we have taken a look at the characteristics of urine. We have taken color, smell, which is odor, and also specific gravity, volume, tonicity. Also, we have taken a look at when the color changes, what substances if we take the color changes, what substances if we take the smell changes, and also the specific gravity, tonicity, volume also. So when the volume increases, at what times volume increases when we take a lot of water. Volume decreases, volume of urine decreases when we do a lot of aerobic workouts that make you sweat. And also volume also increases when we take diuretic substances like tea, coffee, alcohol. So this we have already learned the characteristics, and here we have talked about the chemical composition of urine. That is 95 to 96% is water, 2% is urea, which is the main nitrogenous waste in humans, and also 2 to 3% are other things like hippuric acid, creatinine, some of phosphates, oxalates, and potassium ions. So in this video, we have taken a look at some characteristics of urine, and also we have taken a look at the chemical composition of urine.